This is Strictly Business, presented by the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce. Sponsored in part by the law offices of Young Wooldridge, San Joaquin Community Hospital.
And welcome back to Strictly Business. I'm Nathan Ollie, Manager of Government Affairs at the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce. It's an event that promises to be nuttin' but fun. I didn't write that. And highlights Kern County's nut industry. They're here to discuss the 2015 Kern County Nut Festival is Roger Perez. Roger is the Executive Director of the Kern County Museum. Thanks for being here this morning.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Is that your tagline, nuttin' but fun?
Actually, the real tagline is "It's a shell of a good time."
It's a shell of a good time.
We do puns.
See what
we
you
do
did
puns
there.
very well.
Okay. So. All right. So let's get it right out of the way. First off, when and where, the dates?
It'll be Saturday, May 9th.
Okay.
From 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. At the Kern County Museum.
Right.
And literally, there'll be a little bit for everybody. We like to talk about this as it's basically the best value in festivals. You know, for $10 for an adult, $5 for a kid, you can come out, spend the whole day, and do a ton of stuff for free. There's also a lot of stuff that you can, food and things like that you can taste that really highlight this great product that we have. Nuts in Kern County, they go very well together, and we hope that people realize it's not, nutty in Kern County. Definitely nuts. We've got some amazing products here. We've got, the pistachios, the almonds, basically the biggest crop of those two nuts in the world.
Oh, okay. So, and you mentioned this is the third year of the festival?
This is the third year. We're calling it third annual. You know how it technically isn't the third annual, but
that's right.
Third annual.
At least you're not saying first annual.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't say
exactly.
First annual. So you mentioned the pistachios and the almonds. What are some of the things that I can expect if I bring my family to the Nut Festival?
You can expect to come in, learn a lot about the products that we offer. I know specifically Paramount Farms is doing a really great display on the life cycle of a nut. You'll have vendors that are doing education on the health benefits of these nuts, these products. We'll have some really creative products that you can buy. We'll have a ton of food that you can sort of taste and sample and feast on that incorporate nuts and how to do nut dishes. We actually have some events going on throughout the day that will help teach kids how to cook with nuts.
Oh, okay.
And talk to them about the benefits. It's important to get that mindset of healthy eating early on in life, and nuts are a great way to do it. They have a lot of health benefits, and we'll also do some stuff for the adults. Obviously, we'll have actually a beer and nut pairing later on in the day.
You can have beer and nut pairings.
You can have
it's
beer
not just
and nut pairings.
It's not just peanuts and Budweiser at a baseball game. I mean, this
Nope.
is a thing.
It is a food.
Wow.
Well, a nut dish, I should say.
Okay.
So there'll be an appetizer, a main course, and a dessert, I believe, and then they'll pair with different beers, and they're going to use craft beers and regular beers. And then, again, with the family, there will be just a ton of stuff to do. I mean, throughout the day, and like I said it before, we have a lot that you get out of your buck. We have traveling troops that are going to walk around and do different things. We have a group called Simply Ridiculous that will literally juggle anything, and they kind of wander around the grounds and they start throwing stuff in the air. They juggle ladders and they juggle on ladders, and just a great show throughout the whole day. We've got another one called Tame Fire, and they are exactly what you might think they are. They're a bunch of fire breathers
Okay.
that will travel throughout the grounds, and they're kind of buskers, and we're sort of changing the theme a little, not the theme, but the tone of the event a little bit to sort of embrace the nutty, because, at the end of the day, a celebration calls for fun.
Sure.
And we want to make sure we have a really fun time at this event, too.
Well, good deal. So it sounds like a lot of stuff for the kids
Yeah,
to
there's
do.
just going to be a ton to do.
That's great. Now, this is the first couple of years you've done this event. It was held in June. So was it just why the move to May? Was it just a calendar thing?
The first year we were lucky. I think is the best way to say it. I mean, we lucked out with, I think it was 87 degrees that day. It was a great day. Last year, not so much. It was 103 degrees on the event day, and that that definitely hurt a little bit. And we want to make sure that, one, we don't have to compensate for the heat, but we want to give people a reason to come out. It's a better. The museum grounds are better when we're in the 80s and below.
Well,
Obviously.
roasted
Everywhere.
almonds,
Yeah,
that's
you can
okay,
only have
right?
so many
Yeah.
roasted things. I don't want to roast the guests. I guess
Right,
is the best way to
right.
put it. But so we decided consciously, look, we're going to try and move this thing back into May. We found the right date. I think it's going to work really well with the town
And is that Mother's Day weekend?
yes, it is.
Okay.
And we are going to have some things going on that tie in with Mom. We'll have Nutty
Oh,
Mom
okay.
contests, things like that. And it's a great place to take Mom. When she's in from out of town on Saturday before the church on Sunday and all that other stuff. Come on out to the Nut Festival on Saturday.
Great.
Have a great time, and
So take us back to the beginning.
Yes.
How did we get started on this? Why? Whose idea was it to say, well, let's have a nut festival? And how did that kind of get going?
That's been in great debate, but I still say it was sort of a conglomeration of three people. You had Cheryl Barbich, you had Beth Pandel, and Bob Price here at the Californian, who Cheryl and Beth are on the museum board. And the thought was, we need to the Kern County needs a big food festival along the lines of a Gilroy Garlic Festival.
Right.
So
which is a chamber event in Gilroy.
Exactly. And it's just this huge, literally city-changing event. I mean, that thing just completely changed the city of Gilroy.
It really does. It smells great, too.
And exactly. And we wanted to sort of, what can you do to bring that type of thing here to Bakersfield? And the idea of the different crops got thrown around, and we tried oil and nuts and really it was Bob, at least Cheryl and Beth try to credit Bob with the nut portion of it. Like, hey, let's do nuts. They're a huge product. They really benefit this town financially. Through the companies that run them, through the people that are working, to develop this product. Let's do that. And then they actually went up and they met with the Gilroy Garlic Festival people to sort of start to pattern it after that.
It does seem to kind of have a fun theme.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And you can't go wrong with nuts.
No. So what kind of, you mentioned money, impact to the community. What kind of an impact would you say that the festivals had on the county's nut industry? Excuse me, I'm losing my ears.
We're hoping that continues to grow. I think internally in the county, absolutely, we're doing nothing but raising awareness, and it's really making an impact. I mean, one, the nut industry is doing very well right now,
right?
So that's good for us and for them. It also helps us with their windfall helps us with their participation as well. We're getting more participation from nut companies, and there's a lot of smaller nut companies popping up. The thing that we're seeing is year to year, from the first year to the second year, and I believe the number was something along the lines of 20 or 30%. We had an increase of people that came from out of town.
Oh, okay.
And we do a lot of measurement of where these people are coming from, and that's what we're kind of hoping for. What we have seen with a lot of festivals and a lot of things and events, and as nonprofits, we're a very giving town, and we tend to give back to each other. There's a lot of internal Kern County, hey, here's your money, and I'll give you my money, and we do a lot of that switching around. This festival, a large part of it, is designed to grow into a regional festival so that we can get some more of those tourism dollars in.
Right, and of course that money just keeps, when it comes to a festival, it just keeps spinning around.
Exactly. So we're hoping to get some of that money from the rest of the state to come on in.
Well, and like you said, I think
themselves.
it grows awareness too. I mean, you look at some of the TV commercials and you see the celebrities, doing their pistachio commercials.
Exactly.
Stephen Colbert's doing a pistachio commercial, and
the first
those come
year,
right from Kern County.
Exactly. And that's, I think, the big thing for us here is that people didn't realize that. I think it's growing, because we hear about that from people coming in and, wow, we didn't realize it was this big here,
Right.
Well, it's huge. I mean, it's as big as oil.
Well, and we all think about agriculture, and you think of fruit, or you think of vegetables or something like that, but definitely nuts as well. So what else can we talk about on this festival? It looks like it's going to just be a great time.
A good day. Another thing that we do with this festival, as part of the model, is we allow nonprofits to come in and also do fundraising as well. So the Kern County Museum is a nonprofit, and obviously we're the main beneficiary of the festival. But we also allow other festivals to come in, other nonprofits, at no cost. They can come in, set up a booth. We actually have several. I know we have Bark coming out, and I believe we have the Boys and Girls Club, and these types of nonprofits that they will either sell a product or set up a game to add to the kids' festival. And that'll be part of their fundraiser. I know the first year we gave back over $50,000 to nonprofits.
Wow,
here
and
in
just
town.
an opportunity for them to get to showcase what they're doing.
Exactly. It's right. Another time to come out, have a great time, and raise some funds for their organization.
Well, every time I go out to the museum, there's something new, and we've talked about the Nut Festival. What else do you guys have cooking?
You know, there's actually, this is obviously our busy time of year. Once the weather starts to get like this, I will say, for me, the most exciting thing is our school tours and our general admission. Just walking around the museum has come close to doubling in the last couple of months here. And that's really because I think it has a lot to do with the weather, but hopefully we're getting the word out enough that people are seeing it, and it's a really great place to spend a day. Like I said, we've got a lot of our big yearly school tours coming up where we have 1,000 kids out at a time, and you really do sort of an overview of California history, and it's a fun day for the kids. You know, I'm very excited to report that the school trip is not dead. I mean, that's a big deal because I think it's so much a part of growing up that I think for a while was sort of at risk of going away, and it always has to do with funding.
Even from Ridgecrest, I came over as a kid.
See, that's what we're hoping is we become this regional thing. Obviously, I'm sure everyone's heard of a little concert they're going to put out there in May.
Yeah, that's exciting. A lot of big names coming.
And
there.
for us, those are the types of things that really help us again financially. We have a fairly good rental business, and that's what the Country and Rock Festival is.
Right.
It's a rental. It's but they're what they do is by renting the grounds and using the grounds, they're bringing attention to the museum. I would love the fact if one or two of the acts became donors and got to be good friends.
That'd be great.
I mean, those are just fantastic things that we can add there. And then we've actually got several kids events coming up, especially when we hit June. The Californian puts on a kids fest, and also there's some adult events coming up. We have the Barrel Fest coming up in June as well.
Chamber Social, June 26th.
Chamber Social on June
26th at the Kern County Museum. There's a nice plug for you.
Great shade, great food, great music on that one, and 70s theme.
That's right, 70s theme. Yeah.
I don't know if I was supposed to release.
No, that's fine. Get your tickets will go on sale in May, and you can get your leisure suits out.
And that's great for us because it's a partnership thing. I mean, we love the partner events because, one, again, it brings the community out in a different way.
Right.
It's another way to see the museum. It's another way to look at what we have to offer, presented in a different way. And then hopefully you come back and check it out. And we also have coming up some very big improvements to the museum. So we've got a new entry gallery that will be coming in. That's part of a donation from Era Energy.
Oh, okay.
And that will be actually when you come into the museum, it will be a new front door.
Wow.
And we're going to utilize the Chamber of Commerce building, the original Chamber of Commerce building. It used to be what they called the main museum because they had all kinds of exhibits in there and dinosaurs. Well, it's been empty for some years now. We're going to make that the entryway to the museum again. So it will give you a really nice overview of what you're in for when you get there. We've got some very big improvements coming to Lori Brock, our children's museum, Kara of the Junior League, and Chevron, actually, that are really partnering with us to build what will amount to something closer to the Exploratorium in San Francisco. So a lot of interactive exhibits, some really great places for kids to play. One of the things that I've heard a lot is people are concerned that we're taking Kid City away. We're not. We're just expanding it and making it better. So it's just going to be a fun place to come.
So
and play
lots to look forward to at the Kern County
Absolutely.
Museum.
Absolutely.
And once again, that Nut Festival, the May the 9th.
May 9th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Tickets on sale?
Tickets are on sale now at the museum or at Valley Tix, any Valley Tix location or website.
All right. Roger, thanks very much.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with this. More Strictly Business right after this.